So, paano mo nga ba maipapasa ang Czech A2 language exam? Aalamin natin yan sa video na to. Hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening sa inyo, and welcome sa isa na namang episode ng Diary of an OFW, kung saan ito ang kwento nyo. So, as promised, pag-uusapan natin kung paano mo maipapasa ang Czech language exam. The goal is to share what I've experienced during the exam, kung ano yung naging nangyayari doon, and kung paano ako natuto, saan ako nag-aral. And also, I have a bonus for you because last week bumisita sa amin si Ate Maria Vranova. Hi, if you're watching this. And she has a good news for us. By the way, Ate Maria is the president of NOC, ang nanguna at namuno sa Philippines Cabaria Fiesta. No? So we're very lucky because she had a good news. Aside sa binisita kami doon, she had a good news kasi it's all about, learning Czech. So, abangan nyo yan dito. Babanggitin natin. So, if you haven't watched the previous video that I made about, paano ka magiging permanent or how to apply permanent residency dito sa Czech Republic, I would recommend for you to watch it because I discussed there the eligibility, requirements, process, and so on and so forth. So, bisitahin mo lang yung link sa baba. Nandun yung video na yon. So, what happened when I took the exam? So, initially kasi ang ginawa ko is nag-register muna ako sa Chestina Pro Cizince. So, that's the website para sa permanent residency and citizenship. So, kung magre-register ka ng exam, yun yung website na yun. I will put the link down below as well kung ano yung website na yun para hindi ka na mahirapan maghanap. So, doon din, meron silang sample test that I would recommend na gawin nyo para aware kayo kung hanggang saan yung knowledge nyo and as well as para ma-familiarized kayo sa exam. And so, nung nakapag-register na ako, that was 2024, August, pang 1,200 plus na ako. So, ganun na karami. In fact, yung unang check ko, it's like 800 plus lang. But after few months, naging 1,200 na. So, makikita mo kasi yun kung pang ilang ka sa mga examinee. So, ayun. Pagka-register ko, doon na ako nagsimulang mag-aral-aral. But I would say na hindi pa ganun ka-serious because I'm not taking it seriously. But I had a very little knowledge naman, kahit papaano, ng Czech language because nakapag-aral naman ako ng Czech A1. That's part of the benefit ng previous employer ko. But I wasn't able to apply it or use it because majority of my coworker there are not Czech locals. So, hindi ko ma-practice yung pinag-aralan ko. But when I arrived here, lumipat ako sa Ihlava, I had no choice but to really speak Czech kasi majority of my coworkers are Czech locals. So, dun na ako napilitang mag-aral. Tataka nga sila kung bakit daw 4 years na kami pero hindi pa kami marunong mag-Czech. So, but we explained it na ganun niya. Hindi naman ganun karami yung Czech locals. The majority of the language na ginagamit namin is English. So, that's why. But they understood it. So, ang ginagawa na lang nila, sinuturuan na lang nila kami kung paano sasabihin yung gawa, yung kailangan, yung so on. So, yung mga root word, binibigyan na nila kami. And that's my way of learning Czech language. And then, by the way, I did not enroll to a school. Hindi ako nag-aral ng Czech language or Czech A2 talaga. More of like self-studying lang ang ginawa ko. So, nanood lang ako ng YouTube kay Autentichka Chestina. I think you saw his video sa YouTube. And then, ang ginagawa ko pag nanonood ako ng YouTube is I tried my best to understand it. And then, tinatry ko rin na i-transcript siya in Czech para may idea ako kung paano magsulat and kung tama yung napakinggan ko. So, that's my way of learning. Apart from my coworkers na tinutulungan din kami kung paano yung mga salita. So, that's a big help for me doon sa mga kasama namin because they were really trying their best para maturuan kami. Though it's not consistent. Of course, it's working place, so we should work. But pag may bagong word na lumalabas sa bibig nila, sinasabi nila sa amin yung meaning. So that's an advantage for us, no? So ayun. For the first 5 months, hindi ako focus sa pag-aaral. But nung malapit na yung exam ko, yung month na lang, I think nung 3 weeks na lang. 3 weeks lang kasi yung inaral ko. Doon na ako nag-focus. Because, sabi ko sa sarili ko, I needed to pass this. At least try my best to pass this exam. Yun lang ang sinabi ko. So, I focused more kay Authentic because mas naiintindihan ko siya pag nagtuturo. Iba-iba naman kasi tayo ng learning curve eh. Iba-iba yung way of learning natin. So, it's easy for me to learn through his lesson, no? So, nag-subscribe ako sa Patreon account niya. So, it's patreon.com/AuthenticChestina because meron siyang mga membership programs doon na ino-offer. Ang kinuha ko is the max membership para makuha ko yung conversation. Kasi meron siyang live sessions doon na kung saan pwede kang mag-join. And then, magkakaroon kayo ng roleplay, magkakaroon kayo ng something similar sa A2. Ang kinaganda lang sa kanya kasi is nakafocus siya sa A2 exam. So, lahat ng mga nagsusubscribe doon are examinee and may mga schedule or nagpaplano ng kumuha ng A2 exam. So, yun talaga yung niche niya. So, I subscribed to his Patreon 3 weeks before the exam. Can you imagine yung pressure ko doon? So, every single day, nag-aaral ako 2 to 3 hours per day during that period. And then, doon, ang ginagawa ko is, I try to transcribe, gaya ng ginagawa ko sa YouTube. I read, I listen, I review his previous live sessions kasi available yan sa mga premium na members. And then, I only joined his live sessions once, which is malapit na yung exam. And hindi pa yun plano. Because what happened was, he's about to go on live, but I told him na sayang because I wanted to join the live session kasi nga malapit na yung exam ko. I told him na ganito yung exam namin kasi may GC kami dun sa Patreon. May GC siya wherein all the members can interact and, can ask him. So, sabi ko sa kanya, ay, sayang naman. Gusto ko sana sumali, no? Pero kaya lang, hindi ako available because I have work and then may exam na ako next week. So what he did was minove na lang niya. Siya na yung nag-adjust. Sabi niya, okay, if that's okay to everyone, let's move it on next week. Sabi niya, and then nag-okay naman lahat. Luckily. So, ayun, doon lang kami nag-meet nung last week na yon. And then, I asked him, how was it? Kamusta yung pagsasalita ko? Makakapasa ba ako? And then, he's a very positive guy, Sabi niya, let's just keep positive. Fingers crossed, sabi niya. But I'm hoping for the best, sabi niya sa akin. So, and then, by the way, that period, yung live session namin is just 2 days gap, no? So, yun na yung exam ko. 2 days na lang, exam ko na. So, good thing lang talaga na practice ko kahit paano yung conversation kasi hinahabol ko talaga yun eh. So, ayun. On the exam date, what happened was, we have a call time at 8:30 sa school. And then, tinawag kami isa-isa. Tinawag yung pangalan namin isa-isa. And then, we went on the classroom. And then, pagpasok namin, meron doon 2 police na nag-check ng card. So, you don't have to be scared kung may nakita kang police sa classroom mo because it's normal. I-check lang nila kung 5 years ka na, kung may record ka, and so on and so forth. So, and then, pag okay na, diretso ka sa examiner, and then, papakita nila yung papel kung tama lahat ng information mo, and then, bibigyan ka na ng seat, and then, the reference code ng exam. So, yun ang bibigyan nila sa yung mga papers. So, after that, binigyan na nila kami ng instructions, briefing nila kami kung paano yung magiging proseso ng exam, and then, pinaiwan nila lahat ng gamit namin sa likod, at the back of the classroom. So, lahat ng devices namin, lahat ng bags namin nandun. Ang naiwan lang is pen and the paper. Yun lang. Water kung meron ka. So, the process was the exam has 4 parts. It was reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So, sa reading, bibigyan kayo dyan ng 40 minutes para masagutan lahat ng questions. So, it's mostly multiple choice lang naman. And then, meron lang doon 5 to 10 questions na fill in the blanks. And then, for the writing, they will give you 20 minutes to finish the writing part. And ang na-experience ko is, nag-fill up ako ng form for the Czech language school registration. And then pinagsulat kami ng email about my vacation. So it's past tense. Then, after that, pinag-break kami ng 15 minutes and then we went back to the school. And then next is listening part na. So sa listening part, it's also 40 minutes and mostly multiple choices. Meron lang na 5 to 10 pieces of questions na fill in the blanks. I can't remember if 10 pieces are 5 questions, no? So, and then, after that, we went on break again ng an hour, lunch break. But bago kami pinag-break, binigyan na kami ng instruction on how will it go sa speaking part. So, the instruction was we have like 10 to 15 minutes per person para sa speaking. But they gave us a number na kung saan itatawagin nila para tatawagin nila for our turn. So, kung halimbawa number 15 ka, then they called 15, papasok ka na sa classroom. So, yun yung instruction nila. So, we went back at 1, but natawag ako is around almost 2 na kasi hindi agad ako, pang 7 ata ako, pang 8. And then, nung turn ko na, there are 3 people there. One is the examiner, which is yun yung makaka-conversation mo. And then, they have 2 colleagues na kung saan sila yung mag-grade sa'yo. Papakilala naman sila. And then, ang nangyari is, initially, they will ask you 10 questions, very random questions. Ang natapat sa akin is just, they ask me kung kamusta ako. It's pure Czech, ha? Everything happened there was pure Czech. And you don't have to worry naman because from the briefing to, the speaking part, they will speak very slowly, word by word. Especially pagka nagbibigay sila ng instruction, they wanted to make sure na naiintindihan mo. So, ayun. First part, they gave me 10 questions, random questions. And it's all about, just about me and the Czech Republic. Kinamusta lang nila ako kung taga saan ako, saan yung nationality ko, ganun lang. And then the next part is about Czech Republic. So, ang natapat sa akin is culture, which I don't have any idea. Though nakikinig ako ng mga Czech songs, yung mga locals nila na singers and artists, nakalimutan ko yun sa sobrang kaba ko because hindi ko in-expect because I never tried or I never studied the culture of Czech Republic. Not yet, not so far. But yun, all about culture, and they asked me about what songs, artists, saan ako nanonood ng sine, sinong kasama ko pag nanonood ako ng theater, ng play, and so on and so forth. So, the next part is a role play. So, ang natapat sa akin is about renting a car, which I'd never, ever, ever done it before. So, wala rin ako idea at hindi ko rin siya napag-aralan. So, ayun, sa renting a car, I needed to rent a car to the agency. Siya yung agency, agentura na rerentahan ko. But I've answered some questions naman, like, for example, saan ako pupunta, hanggang kailan ako, anong brand. So, yun naman yung mga questions nila. And then, the next part is about role play din siya, and it's all about agency sila, and then nagrereklamo ako sa renta ko sa bahay. It's too expensive. So, this part is the most difficult part for me kasi I don't know how to say things. Like, hindi naman ako nagrereklamo. I never had some, reklamatse sa agency. So, I've never done this, and I never studied it as well. Kasi I never imagine na magkakaroon din pala ng ganitong scenario sa role play, sa exam. So, ayun, hindi ko siya nasagutan. I'm not confident na pasado ako dun sa part na yun. So, they just asked me about, kung ano yung problema, paano ko nasabi na mataas yung renta ko, may email ba, ganun lang naman. Naintindihan ko yung questions, but I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to answer it. So, hindi naman kasi ako ganun ka-fluent. And so, the next part is the role play pa rin siya. And it's like you're having a conversation with a friend. So, yung conversation na yon is they were asking for a recommendation. So, ang pinakita nila sa picture is Pilsen, small town, and farm market. So, nanghihingi siya ng recommendation kung saan maganda pumunta this weekend, this Saturday. And so, doon, confident ako kasi ilang beses ko nang na-try yun kay Authentic Kachestina. And then, the last part is role play din siya. And we are friends na, recommendation din, yung nangyari. So, ang picture doon is like forest, river, and city. So, yun yung mga pictures. So, nanghihingi siya ng recommendation about what to do. And dito, medyo confident ako kasi try ko din naman yan sa pagre-review ko. So, ayun. After the speaking part, lumabas na kami and then umuwi na kami. We did not do anything. Naghintay na lang kami ng result. And the result came in after 2 to 3 days, I think, within a week. So, ayun. So, that's what happens sa exam. It's very, very similar sa sample exam sa website. So, I would really recommend na itry nyo yan. Kasi ganun na ganun, iba-iba lang ng questions. Kasi nga, random, iba-iba naman talaga. I cannot specify any questions or any topics kasi random yung nangyayari. So, the most important thing is really, you should study. Like, from their framework, if possible, magsimula kayo ng A1 and then pataas para anything na iba to sa inyong topic, meron kayong isasagot. Because, alam mo yun, iba pa rin kasi pagka yung pinag-aralan mo yung framework ng salita nila. Yung history, kung paano nila binabago yung mga endings and so on and so forth. So, what I did is just a self-study. It's not really recommended, It's not easy, lalo na kung ikaw lang ang nag-aaral and you really have a discipline to focus regardless kung ano man yung mangyari. Kailangan mong i-focus yung sarili mo sa pagsa-self-study because you don't have any choice, di ba? But, like I said, I have a bonus tip for you in which is about the Czech language. Last week, nung binisita kami ni Ate Maria, sinabi niya na meron silang kilalang teacher na nag-o-offer ng very, very affordable na Czech language program or lesson. So, the price was just around 90 crowns for 90 minutes. And so, very, very affordable kung ikukumpara mo sa common price ng language market ngayon. So, I would recommend na mag-subscribe kayo or mag-sign up kayo, mag-join kayo. But you should be at least a group of 8. So, 8 tao para matuloy yung lesson. And it will be online. So, very convenient din sa inyo. Kung grupo kayo na 8, may mga kaibigan kayo na gusto rin mag-aral ng Czech language, mag-form kayo ng 8 and then mag-register kayo sa language lesson nila. So, all of those profit will go to the teacher Walang part doon ng NOC or even kay Ate Maria. So, yun lang. Yun lang yung pinakamagandang part kasi alam mo yun, hindi ko nakuha yung ganun eh. Kung available yun dati, baka nag-aral din ako because it's much better nga na may framework ka ng language nila. So, but if you don't have any choice yet at this moment kasi malapit na, ilang araw na lang, exam ka na, mag-focus ka talaga sa pag-aaral because it will really add some, knowledge for you. And most important thing is really to practice the language. Regardless kung nabubulol ka, regardless kung mali-mali ka ng grammar, kung mali ka ng words, because from speaking their language, you can gain confidence and you will be comfortable with it. So, mas maganda kasi yung komportable kang sabihin yung mga lengguwahe nila, terminologies nila, pronunciations nila, para masanay ka. If you don't practice it, speaking, then it might be hard for you to speak the Czech language. So, mahihirapan ka sa speaking part ng exam. So, ayun. If any case you have a chance to speak with a local, much better. Kasi tuturuan ka rin naman nila kung paano sabihin yung mga words if any case nakita nilang struggling ka sa pronunciation mo. So, if you have a chance to speak with a local, like for example, sa supermarket, sa lekarna, sa cafeteria, sa cafe, even sa bibili ka ng ticket, try to speak Czech at least para naman ma-practice yung pinag-aralan mo. And ang pinakamagandang part nun is matatest mo rin kung naiintindihan ka nila. Because pag naiintindihan ka nila, that simply means you're closer to their language na. And may mga ibang Czech local na nagtuturo kung paano mo sasabihin. So, wag niyo i-approach yun ng negative, take it as a positive, as part of your learning curve. Kasi hindi naman tayo fluent or hindi natin mother tongue yung lengguwahe nila. So, it's given for them. But for you, if they teach something na Czech language, approach it in a positive way para naman makadagdag din yan sa knowledge nyo sa Czech, no? So, that's all. Yun lang naman yung nangyari. Did I miss something? So, ayun. During that period, I registered 2024. Some people said na 2 months lang sila, 5 months lang sila, then that's better for them kasi iba-iba naman talaga. But yun na-experience ko nga is really, it took me like 6 months bago nagkaroon ng exam date. But yung exam date na yun is 2 months in advance pa. So it took me like 8 months ang paghihintay. If you have a plan to apply for a permanent residency, I would really recommend na mag-register na kayo sa A2 exam because more and more people are going to enroll on that website. You see, way back 2024, nakapag-register ako 1,200 plus ako. But now, when my colleagues and my friends register to that website, it's almost 3,000 na. So it doubles every year. And I think it's expected na because yung spike ng mga foreigners started last 2021-22. So meaning to say, marami ng mga foreigners dito nandito na since 2021-22. So marami ng more than 5 years ang nag-i-stay dito which are eligible to apply for permanent residency. Now, tignan na lang natin sa Philippine side, nagsipagdatingan ang mga Filipino dito way back 2022 kasi naging 3,500 yung quota. So yun, now it doubles every single year. Right now, we have a quota of 10,000 plus na. So yun lang, sa Philippine side pa lang yan na may more than 5 years na ditong nag-i-stay. Wala pa dyan yung Ukrainians, Indians, and other nationalities. So mas maganda as early as now mag-register na kayo if you really wanted to, become a permanent resident dito. So ayun lang naman yung may advice ko. And also, make sure na nakapag-aral kayo or may knowledge kayo ng Czech language. Kung nakakapagsalita na kayo and naiintindihan kayo ng locals, then that simply means you can definitely pass the exam. And, we should take it as, very positive, just like Peter or si Authentic Justina, he's very positive, and let's just hope for the best. I think everybody can pass the exam. It's just that, you just have to be confident, and you just have to have more practice and focus when you are studying Czech language. So mahirap ba ang Czech A2 language exam? I would say na it's difficult if you lack knowledge and you did not do your part, like studying and reviewing and focusing onto the Czech language. But it will be easy if you made your own study. Kung nag-aral ka and pinag-aralan mo yung mga kalakaran dito, yung culture nila, yung pagkain nila, alam mo kung paano sasabihin, pag bibili ka ng ticket, alam mo kung paano magbilang, then, you will be confident. Kasi, actually, if I would rate it, A2 is not that hard. Ngayon ko lang na-realize na it's not that hard pala. Kasi, you can almost use it every single day. Yung mga word doon is very, very shallow lang. Hindi pa yun yung malalalim na Czech language. So, sabi ko, siguro kung pinag-aralan ko talaga siya from the framework, siguro may chance na maging fluent ako. And hindi ako maghahang sa mga questions during the speaking part. So, if you have a chance to study in a school, in a language school, or in online, like for example, dun sa teacher na na-recommend ni Ate Maria, then I would really recommend na gawin nyo kasi it's really better na may framework kayo or alam nyo kung paano yung tamang pagsasalita nila, kung paano yung construction ng mga sentences, ng words nila. And also, hindi ka mahahang pagdating na sa speaking part, which what I did kasi wala nag-rely lang ako sa shortcut Anyway, so to wrap it up, Czech language is not that hard as long as you do your own due diligence, kumbaga. So kung nag-review ka, pinag-aralan mo lahat ng possible na i-question sa'yo, then it will be easy for you. If any case nag-aaral ka and you find it difficult for you to learn the language, tapos meron ka ng exam, what I advise you is really to step back a little bit. Kasi na-experience ko din yan nung sa self-study ako, no? Since very focused ako and I set 2 to 3 hours per day na mag-aaral ako, regardless kung anong oras man yan, may mga time dyan na nalulose focus ako. May mga time dyan na demotivated ako na hindi ko kayang mag-aral. Hindi na-absorb ng utak ko yung pinag-aaralan ko. Which is, I knew it's normal kasi, everything should be processed properly. So, kapag nararanasan ko yun, I just step back a little bit, give myself a time to relax. Because for me, by doing that, I'm also giving my brain a time to process what I've learned. And so, pag nag-step back ako, after that, pag bumalik ako, dire-diretso yan. Sometimes it took me like 5 hours na nag-aaral. Hindi ko namamalayan yung oras just because I'm so hunger enough to learn more about the language. Kung nararanasan mong parang wala kang natututunan, just step back a little bit lang. A little bit. And masyadong puwersahin, kumbaga. So, unti-unti. Just learn what you can absorb. Learn the basics. Learn the root words. Lalong-lalo na yung mga root words nila because it will help you. It will help them understand you, I would say. So, ayun, step back a little bit and then pagbalik mo, gawin mo na kagad kung ano yung kailangan mong gawin to learn the language. And also, feeling ko lang naman to. Sa exam, sa speaking part, what I experienced in Przyrów, yung examiner nila, and yung dalawang colleagues niya na nag-grade, they are not expecting too much. As a foreigner, they were not expecting too much because as long as narinig na nila yung root word, like for example, dilat or umit, or, something that will give them an idea na may alam ako sa word na yun, it's not necessary na gamitin mong past or future tense man yan, but really, they just wanted to know kung alam mo yung root word ng tinatanong nila, and they also wanted to know kung naiintindihan mo yung sinasabi ng examiner. So, I think yun lang naman yung napansin ko. In my opinion, I don't know if you've you notice it as well. And sabi nila, may mga nakausap ako na mga nag-exam din, sabi nila mas hindi daw stricto pagka sa mga probinsya. So, tip na yan. Kung sa probinsya ka natapat, be confident kasi hindi daw sila stricto, which I find it also similar kasi parang napansin ko, yun nga, word by word sila, literal, pag nasasalita word by word, and then hindi ganun ka-strict pagdating sa speaking part. Or siguro mabait lang talaga yung teacher ko kaya pinasa ako. So that's all for today. I hope this video gives you a lot of information about the Czech A2 language exam. If any case you've experienced taking an exam, I would also love to hear from you. So kung ano yung nangyari sa exam date mo, comment mo naman. Or maybe if you're available, why not? Let's have a conversation. So if I miss something or if I say it incorrect, let me know as well because your feedback is very helpful to me and to everyone here in Diary of an OFW. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and follow our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, and so on and so forth. So God bless everyone.